in the valley. Relationships, current events, dream interpretations. We cover them and many more. There's so much in store. If you want to know everything happening in the valley, all we do is talk about everyday living in the valley. Come on and tune in to everyday living in the valley. All we do is talk about everyday living in the valley. Come on and tune in to everyday living in the valley.
Welcome to Everyday Living in the Valley, where I'm your host, Mr. Distinguished.
And I'm your host, Jess Alex. Relationships, current events, dream interpretation, we cover them, and there is so much more. If you want more information on what's happening in the Valley, visit truevibes.net. That's true, T-R-U, the word vibes.net.
If you like the content that we are producing, feel free to like our Facebook page, Everyday Living in the Valley, and we have a Valley giveaway opportunity that you don't want to miss. Details on that coming up, but right now, let's talk about healthy ways to cope with stress.
Ooh, yes. I'm going to say, how do you deal with things that are unexpected? And how do you deal with things that are expected?
That's a good one right there.
I think that's like two different variations of just dealing with stress.
You have different temperamented people, so I guess it's not a cookie cutter type of situation.
No, it's not.
So what works for you is not going to work, for me, right?
Right. So I'm going to say some healthy ways that I actually reduce stress is by being mindful, allowing myself to feel what I'm feeling in that moment, taking that deep breath, and just really calming myself down and letting me know that it's not as big as what I'm making it at this particular moment.
And I think for me, what I try to do is I try to find the dark humor in the situation.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Absolutely.
I try to find the dark humor or any type of humor in it.
You do. You laugh it off. I know when I want to laugh off some things, I definitely give you a call.
Yeah, and some things are not funny right away.
It's not. I'm going to say that sometimes, what we say, life be lifing.
Life be lifing.
So there are so many things that happens that's not under our control. So the way that I look at things is I'm going to look at it one or two ways. One, what someone does to me, I can't control what they do. I can't control what they say. I can't control things that happen around me that, it's just something I can't control. So what can I control? I can control myself.
That's true.
I can control my outlook, and I can say what is and is not going to have power over me.
That's true.
So I'm going to say that's one thing that I do to help cope with stress.
I guess for me, I try to be slow to respond to situations. So I can really think about and process what just happened in a more healthy way or manner.
That's growth.
You don't have to respond to everything.
Ooh, now I like that. I think setting healthy boundaries, right? Mm-hmm. Like you have family members, you have people who some people consider friends. People know how to push your buttons.
Yeah.
More than anybody else that don't. A stranger can't bother you, but people who know you can.
The people who know what your triggers are, ooh.
And they will push them.
Mm-hmm.
And they know it bothers you.
Especially if they're upset at you and they try to get back at you and that's another thing, revenge. Ooh.
You know what? I have found that revenge is not as sweet as what we think it is. At that moment, we're thinking about how I'm going to get back at you because you done did this to me. But it's not going to give you that satisfaction that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
What about when someone wants closure?
Oh, and sometimes, majority of the times, you're not going to receive that closure that you're looking for.
Not at all. Not even a little bit. And if you do get some type of closure, it's not what you want.
Yeah.
It's not the answer that you're looking for. So
you had to, kind of mentally prepare yourself to be okay with not having that closure that you're looking for.
I think that's most important, is making sure that you are okay with you. Be okay at the point that you are in your life and not base it according to where somebody else in their point in their life. Because everybody got, different variations of where they're at. And I can't be like, well, Mr. Distinguished has done ABC and XYZ, but I don't get to do that. I can only do ABC. I can't get to the XYZ.
Yeah, I mean, your life is your life and my life is my life. And
Right.
we say this multiple times. You can only live and you're only accountable for yourself and your own journey to your own destiny.
Right.
And worrying about other people's journeys is a distraction. And it's going to lead you astray off of what you need to do.
I like that. Be mindful.
Be mindful of your own journey, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
This is your
Well, guys, we want to start off by saying congratulations to Miss Linda Lang, who won our very first Valley giveaway.
Yes. Congratulations, Linda.
And we want to send a shout out to Nail Slay by Ray for sponsoring our giveaway. Thank you so much, Amanda Bullock.
We appreciate that, Amanda.
So this Valley giveaway that we have right now is brought to you by Bodega, and we present to you our second Valley giveaway. Well, just Alex, what are we raffling off this time?
We are raffling off a $100 Visa gift card. Ooh.
Okay, so what do the people have to do to
So
get this?
guess what you all have to do? Here are the rules to qualify for the raffle. You must like and follow Everyday Living in the Valley Facebook page. You must invite 10 people to our page. You must enter one of the secret words broadcasted throughout the episode. We need you to go to truevibes.net and click on Enter Valley Giveaway.
That's right. So just Alex, we all have some epic stories when it comes to people that we work with, right?
We do. So I'm going to say our next coworker chronicle comes from an anonymous submitter.
Anonymous submitter, guys. Remember, if you want to submit your own coworker chronicles, you just visit our website at truevibes.net and click on contact us at Everyday Living in the Valley, fill out the form, and select coworker chronicles. So what can we say about this edition?
So getting this anonymous submitter, they was talking about their boss. And we know we all got some bosses that like you to do things. They don't care. They just want the job done. It needs to look good on their end.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Forget if it's under like your duress. They don't worry about that.
Ooh.
The job just needs to be done.
Yes.
So this person says that my boss, I guess she was working at a school or something.
Okay.
And her boss actually wanted her to forge some parents' signatures.
Ooh, that sounds illegal, first of all.
It is illegal.
Child.
And then the boss would turn around and tell people, I don't know why she did that. Why did she? And people were coming up to her and like, well, why did you do this? Why was that done? And she was like,
How do you respond to that?
yeah. And she actually put in her anonymous post was like, I just did what was told of me. And the boss acted like she had no clue what was going on.
How do you even prove that?
She don't have any proof because it's word of mouth, right?
Wow.
Right. And so the boss has been covering their tracks because look, she's done the deed. It's done. And I don't know, like, she didn't put in there if whether or not, they had to go back and get the signatures, but it was already done. And she did eventually get fired.
That's a hot mess right there.
Ooh, the boss fired her, y'all.
Was it because of the forged signatures?
It wasn't even because of that. She got fired because the boss, it was like 2 minutes before it was time to go. And she told the boss, well, I'm going to go ahead and go. And so the boss said, okay, watch her get in the car, leave, and then called her on the phone and said, you can't come back. You fired. Can you not? Like, you can't come back. And it was a mess. So she got thrown under the bus a lot with this boss. And she actually considered this boss her friend. So she did put that in there. So I am here to tell anonymous submitter. And the reason why I know it's a she, y'all, because, she acknowledged that she was a female. So that's why I'm saying she. But a Miss Anonymous Submitter, I am here to tell you that is a mess. That's just jacked up. That's just really jacked up.
Ain't no way.
Like, what would you do if you was put in that position?
I mean, what could you do?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You don't really have any proof or any way to prove it unless you set the boss up somehow.
True.
With the camera or something like that.
True. I agree with that.
I guess, first of all, not force she would probably fire her because she didn't force the parents. Well,
I would say she would have a leg to stand on because, one, I just got to get these signatures. Mm-hmm. And what I would do is I would document what I'm doing. I am actually, this is what I'm doing. I'm sure there's some type of system or something that you can track something just to say something.
And I'm sure that boss had a boss.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And that's the craziest thing. But thank you to the anonymous submitter.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Yeah. And you all definitely send in those coworker chronicles. We want to hear your story. I know y'all don't want to just hear me and Mr. Distinguished stories. So
we got enough for y'all.
We got a lot. We have a lot. But we appreciate actually, talking about other people's stories too.
That's true.
That is a mess.
Yeah. We want to remind you that you can send your submissions in anonymously.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
And we can read it as an anonymous writer, as we did this one.
We did. And we are going to continue to do that. So submit those coworker chronicles.
And remind the people how they could do that.
You can definitely submit your coworker chronicle experience. We want you to visit truevibes.net. That's true, TRU, vibes.net. Click on Contact Us at Everyday Living in the Valley, fill out the form, and select Coworker Chronicles.
Well, guys, coming up later on the program, we have a new dream interpretation segment that you don't want to miss.
And let us reveal to you part 2 of Casanova.
Living in the Valley.
Family, culture, community. Do you have a taste for some Latin American cuisine or want to try something new? We'll add Bodega 1205 to your bucket list, where you can expect some freshly squeezed juices, some epic empanadas, and the most perfect pernil that's just like your Puerto Rican grandma's. Remember, guys, Bodega is not just food, it's an experience. And I personally go there at least 2 times a week for the experience. 19 12th Street, Columbus, Georgia, 31901. Family, culture, community. Bodega. Visit their website at bodega1205.com or give them a call at 706-221-3514. Your Valley giveaway secret word is trigger. That's trigger. Again, that's trigger.
In the valley, all we do is talk about every day. Living in the valley, come on and tune in to every day. Living in the valley, all we do is talk about every day. Living in the valley, come on and tune in to every day. Living in the valley.
Welcome back to Everyday Living in the Valley, where I'm your host, Jess Alex.
And I'm your host, Mr. Distinguished. Relationships, current events, dream interpretations, we cover them, and there is so much more here in the Valley. If you want more information on what's happening in the Valley, visit our website at truevibes.net. That's TRU, the word vibes.net. We do have opportunities for advertisement on our website as well. Visit our website for the details, truevibes.net. Just Alex, remember that time when it took us 24 hours to get to New York?
Listen, I need y'all to know that was a long 24 hours.
Never again, y'all.
Mr. Distinguished was so upset because he was like, okay, y'all, let me just explain this. Okay, so we left early. We didn't leave. It wasn't late. We left early and we got to Atlanta and we got off.
Oh, yeah.
This is where he got ticked off at.
So if y'all are familiar with the Metro Atlanta area, they do have 285.
Yes.
So it's more so of a bypass, and it just goes in a circle.
Yes.
And they have highway. What was that? Georgia 400.
I don't know.
Georgia 400. That's what it was. And so basically, we're just going north, right?
Right.
So we're just traveling I-85 north.
Right. Right.
So the GPS took us on 285 and to Georgia 400. We paid a toll and got back on 85 northbound.
I'm sorry.
I know y'all lied, and as we're turning, I'm like, what are we doing? We're just going north. What are y'all doing? And they was like, this GPS told us to go here.
So back then, this was like, because Cam was maybe 3, 4.
Yeah.
So this had to be about 16 years ago. Maybe, yeah, about 16 years ago. So GPS systems are not how they are now.
Yeah.
And I think
We did have it on our phone.
we did. And our phones, because we had Verizon.
Yes.
Our phones were telling us to just go straight.
Yes.
Well, some other people had the one, that you buy in the store and you just mount, and then it doesn't update.
Yeah. You had to like manually put it to
You
the
had
computer
to update.
Update it. Yeah.
Well, that didn't happen. And so me and Mr. Distinguished was in a car together. My mom and Cam and Destiny was in the back seat.
I remember this.
And listen, I don't know how me and Mr. Distinguished did it, but we stayed up, I'm going to say about 22 hours.
This was when I was drinking a lot of Monster.
And I was killing Red Bull. I was like, because we was on go, y'all. We had to be up.
We were the only drivers in this car.
In the car. Mind you, my mom slept the entire time.
Yeah. So we had to, you know how somebody is driving, you always want to have somebody awake when you're traveling a long distance.
Yes, yes.
And so
I was dozing off.
we almost died, y'all.
The car was driving itself. It was I'm telling y'all, it was an experience that we still talk about to this day because, and I know he gonna bring this up, so let me go ahead and just say it.
I was just waiting for you to pass it so I could be like, oh, let's go back.
Let me go ahead and say the first thing that I did. So I was like, oh, look at the bridge. I said the Golden Gate Bridge, y'all.
And Destiny, how old was she then?
Destiny had to be
6,
about
7.
Yeah, about 6, 7, something like
She's
that.
like, Mama, no, that's in California.
She did. And he brings that up all the time. Okay. It was I wasn't thinking.
Here go me. You remember that time your 6-year-old daughter reminded you?
She did. I did say the Golden Gate Bridge. And she was like,
tore it up.
yeah. And she was like, no, Mama, that's not it. And I'm like, okay. And then also, like, the Northerners knew some people in our party were from the South.
Oh, my God.
Because it was like, I think they ended up going to Subway. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I just got the story from Mr. Distinguished, so I'm going to let you tell it.
Well, this one lady in our party, she has a very thick Southern accent.
Yes.
And I think she was like yellow cheese.
Yellow
Cheese.
like yellow cheese.
Yellow cheese. And the workers were like, oh, you must be from the South.
I know.
Because they were like, ain't no way.
And I think I ended up staying back with my sister, my grandmother, and my mom because my grandmother had to have dialysis.
That's right.
So Mr. Distinguished was with the rest of the group.
Listen, guys.
And he was over it.
I was over it. You remember, like in previous episodes, we were like, we don't go on vacation to go to like Burger King, McDonald's, and stuff like that. Well, we went on this vacation to go to Burger King, McDonald's, and stuff like that.
Well, we also stopped every 2 hours.
We did. On the way up there, we stopped every 2 hours, and it was like 10, 15, 20-minute stops.
Oh, I'm going to say longer than 15.
It was long. It was no
It was
way.
about 30 minutes. It was about 30 plus. Yeah, because everybody, we had 2 vans in a car.
That's
it was
right.
like 2 15-passenger vans in a car.
Oh, and then one of the drivers, they drive like the...
No, it was like, I don't want to go over I don't like
go over the
driving over the bridge. So we were going. I was going 55.
Mm-hmm.
You remember they called and was like, "Can you slow down?" And I was like, "I can't go any slower. We won't be moving. Like we gonna be way below the speed limit." So yeah, that trip was something. I mean, we did have a good time though, y'all. Don't get me wrong.
We had a good time.
We had a good time.
We just had a lot of technical difficulties.
It was just a struggle just getting there.
But when we left, and
Now coming back, listen, we was on it. It took us
15
hours.
Yeah. There was a time when the car was driving itself. Let me tell you that.
Because I dozed off.
No, me too.
And he was in the driver's seat, y'all. Yeah. So, also going up, let me go back. My mom. Now, mind you, me and Mr. Distinguished have not really had any sleep. Let me just say that, because we was both, like, he was the passenger when I was driving and I was the passenger when he was driving. So we was both front seat. My mom slept. I'm going to tell y'all, at least 10, 12 hours.
Had to.
She gets in the driver's seat the last 2 hours.
She couldn't even.
And she was running off the road. You know, the little thing. I'm like, what's going on?
She's like, girl, I can't keep my eyes open.
I can't keep my eyes. I'm sleeping. I'm like, but did you just take over? Like, we done drove 22 hours. Yeah, so that was, listen, y'all. But it's good that we have memories like that. It is
good.
Because it's funny.
We talk about it all the time.
We still laugh about it.
Yeah, like it just happened.
Yes, because it is funny. Yeah, but driving up there, nah, I can't do it.
Mm-mm.
I cannot.
This is going to be flying for me every time.
Those are facts.
Ain't no way.
Those are facts. I definitely agree.
Well, guys, we have this new dream interpretation segment. And just for a reminder, just Alex and myself, we are dreamers and we like to interpret dreams.
We do.
So, but we also like to hear dreams from our listeners.
Ooh, yes, we do.
So we want to thank y'all for your submissions and continue to encourage you. If y'all have a dream that y'all want to submit, then feel free to go to our website at truevibes.net and click on contact us at Everyday Living in the Valley. Fill out the form and select dream interpretation.
Yes, please do. We have a interpretation, a dream that someone sent in, anonymous.
Yay.
And we appreciate that. So I'm going to read it out and then we're going to go through it. We're going to break it down. Okay, so it says, hello, Mr. Distinguished and just Alex. I need opinions on what this could be. Here's what I mean. 8 years ago, I was dating this guy and I had a dream that he got a raise at work. I told him about the dream. About 2 weeks later, he comes home and asks, do I remember the dream I had about the raise? He then tells me he got a raise at work. Then I had a dream he got a transfer to a new location because of the raise. And of course, I tell him. A couple of weeks later, he comes home and tell me he got a promotion and a transfer. Another time, I was talking to this guy I started to develop feelings for. One day, out of the blue, I have this dream that I walked in on him laying up with this girl. I call him the next day and tell him the dream and ask him, is he talking to anyone while he's at home? He says no. A few days later, I'm blocked on my main page on Facebook. So I log into my second page and see that he is in a relationship with a girl who looks similar to the one that's in my dream. What does that mean for me?
Oh, wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's loaded. So I'm going to say that is a gift.
You definitely have a gift of dreaming.
I'm going to say most definitely. And take heed to your dreams.
Also, I would encourage you to invest in a dream journal.
I was just about to say that. Good one. Yeah. Because sometimes when you just wake up, if the dream is there, once you go and start doing something else,
it leaves you.
You can't even remember.
Yeah.
You try your best and you cannot. That has happened to me and Mr. Distinguished.
Yeah. Like waking up the first golden moments of recording a dream.
Yes.
And I know like you really don't want to do it right then and there because
but do it.
You're just waking up and
keep it by your nightstand.
Yes.
keep it right there. Make sure you have pen and paper right there.
I would say, see if you can remember the major stuff first, and then
Yes.
go back and write in like the little details,
I like that.
right?
I like that. And then try to, like, after you write down everything and you get the little details, then go through and actually see how did it make you feel when those things happen
That's true.
during your dream. Like, what was your thought? Like, what kind of feeling did you get?
I also find that sometimes when you have like a significant dream, that there are things in your everyday life when you go on to remind you
Those little nuggets.
of the dream that you just had that night
Yes.
before.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we definitely want you to be encouraged. This is a revelation
Ooh, I like
for
that.
you to let you know that dreaming is a gift that is definitely on your journey,
I
to
agree
your
with that.
destiny. And so take heed to that revelation.
Yes.
And some dreams you don't have to tell people or whatever.
That's true.
You gotta have discernment of what dreams you want to tell people, you know.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
agree 100%. Everybody should not be privy to things that you see happening.
That's true.
And some things may be revealed that's only for you.
Yes. And some people will just try to gaslight you,
They will.
like, oh, you just dreaming. You just foolish.
They will do that and make you feel like something's wrong with you when it's not. And there's nothing wrong with dreaming. Dream interpretation is something that has been going on since the beginning of time.
That's true.
So
Even in the biblical day.
yes. So take heed to that. And
But for the dream that you just submitted to us, thank you so much.
yes,
It's pretty much, you know,
Straightforward. Yeah.
to the point.
Yeah.
There's not really any symbolisms or
No, I
any
don't-
special colors.
because it's
or-
coming in true. Like everything that you're saying is coming
Yeah.
true. So I can't say that, it's saying something else because you're saying it happened.
Yeah.
Like after I dreamed this, yes, this is what happened. But I'm going to say you definitely have the gift.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to hone that gift and be okay. Don't be afraid of it.
Don't be afraid.
That's okay. And if you have anything else, definitely feel free to reach out to us. We appreciate that. And anybody else, if you have any type of dream that you want us to interpret, any type of questions you have, submit it to us. We are here. You can do it anonymous, like this person did, and we appreciate that.
So just a reminder, guys, if you want to submit those dreams, just go to our website, truevibes.net. That's true, TRU, the word vibes.net. Click on Contact Us at Everyday Living in the Valley. Fill out the form and select Dream Interpretation. So, guys, coming up, don't miss out on your opportunity to enter our new Valley giveaway. And let me tell you about how someone had me messed up.
Let us reveal some of our favorite traveling destinations coming up after the break.
Living in the valley.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Bodega 1205. Give them a try today.
Living in the valley.
Family, culture, community. Do you have a taste for some Latin American cuisine or want to try something new? Well, add Bodega 1205 to your bucket list, where you can expect some freshly squeezed juices, some epic empanadas, and the most perfect pernil that's just like your Puerto Rican grandma's. Remember, guys, Bodega is not just food, it's an experience. And I personally go there at least 2 times a week for the experience. 19 12th Street, Columbus, Georgia, 31901. Family, culture, community. Bodega. Visit their website at bodega1205.com or give them a call at 706-221-3514. Your Valley giveaway secret word is stress. That's stress. Again, that's stress.
Living in the valley. All we do is talk about every day. Living in the valley. Come on and tune in to every day. Living in the valley. All we do is talk about every day. Living in the valley. Come on and tune in to every day. Living in the valley.
to Everyday Living in the Valley, where I'm your host, Mr. Distinguished.
And I'm your host, Jess Alex. Relationships, current events, dream interpretation, we cover them, and there is so much more. If you would like some relationship advice, or if you have a dream that you would like us to interpret, go to truevibes.net. That's true, TRU, the word vibes.net. And click on Contact Us at Everyday Living in the Valley.
Well, guys, I got to tell you about another time when someone had me messed up. I just know you lying to me.
Ooh, child, they got me messed up.
She really did try it.
They got me messed up.
She really said that?
Ooh, child, I just tell you, these folks just really got me messed up.
So, just Alex, you going on your life journey, and then people from time to time just have you messed up.
They do. How do they have you messed up?
So let me tell you about this time when we took a vacation. It's supposed to be to Jamaica.
You was bragging. Listen, y'all. He was bragging. I want y'all to know this because I haven't been at that particular time. So, I'm going to Jamaica. I was like, okay, all right.
I don't remember how many different ports it was. I know it was Grand Cayman Islands, Jamaica, and I don't know if there was a third port that we went to.
I think it was just two.
I think it was just two, but Jamaica was like the highlight.
That was what y'all paid for.
Yeah, that was the billboard.
Right.
Yeah. So we get on a boat. Everything's good. Everything's copacetic, right?
Right.
So we're pulling out of, I think we pulled out of Miami. From our knowledge, we're halfway to Jamaica.
Okay.
And we like, okay, we about to go to Jamaica. We about to turn up. It's about to be a good time. So we get an announcement, or we get a letter in the door.
Right.
And it tells us that in the middle of the night, the ship had to turn all the way around and go back to the port of Miami.
What?
Yes, because there was a medical emergency.
Ooh, child.
And I just know them folks just had me messed up. We had everybody on that boat messed up, actually.
Because y'all was cutting up, wasn't you?
Oh, listen. And black folk,
Don't play.
they went down to that customer service desk, and they were lined up, wrapped around. These people were cussing these folks out. And they had security on standby.
And wasn't like somebody had like a wedding or something?
Yeah, somebody had a wedding. You know what? These people didn't really consider, because some people don't go to all the ports.
That's true.
Because they have other plans and things of that nature. So they didn't even take in respect to that, turning around. I mean, in my mind, there's so many other avenues that they could have did this. Coast Guards.
So, I mean, what did they do? Did they compensate y'all or?
Oh, yeah. So just Alex just loves rubbing this in my face.
What you talking about?
So they offer 20% off the next cruise? And just Alex, you're like, oh, so pretty much what they was going to do anyway.
I mean, because when you're a returning cruiser, that's the normal. You get 20% off on your next cruise. So they just gave y'all the basic. They didn't even try to refund y'all no money. Normally they're supposed to give you your money back because of, port taxes and all that.
Glad you brought up the wedding that was supposed to happen.
Yes, I remember.
Family and stuff were flying out directly to Jamaica. Not everybody was on the cruise to go to Jamaica. They had people flying out and things of that nature. So it was a mess for them.
I can't imagine how that bride was.
Ooh, I know she was mad.
I'm sure she lost a lot of money.
A lot of money. And I don't know, how do you even try to explain that to your guests?
You don't.
Flying in.
Carnival do not care. If you do not have insurance, or if she didn't have insurance, and that's why I talked about that the last episode. Have insurance.
Yes.
So you can be reimbursed for your troubles.
But just Alex, she laughs about this all the time. And I think there was a news article that you forwarded to me after this happened, because this happened to somebody else.
It did. And they gave them a refund. I'm just saying. It still don't make sense to me. Like, I'm actually surprised that happened, y'all. I was just like, why would they do? And he's talking about Carnival. We are big Carnival fans now.
Carnival connoisseurs.
Yeah, we don't play. Carnival is the place, but it's the ship. But yeah, they really did y'all wrong.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was bad.
Yeah, but she laughed. She's like, you remember that time when you were supposed to go to Jamaica?
Right.
That's just Alex every day.
I'm just saying, I have to get him back because if it was me, you definitely
I would never.
He would have ate me up.
I would have cried for you.
No.
Yes,
he,
I would.
He would have laughed. He would have laughed. He would have
Like,
laughed.
oh, boo hoo.
Not at all.
You supposed to go to Jamaica.
Not at all. Not even a little bit.
So, guys, speaking of cruising and things of that nature, we would like to tell you about some of our favorite traveling destinations.
Ooh, yes. So, for the first time, we ended up, COVID happened, everything shut down.
That's
so,
right.
that means, because we was trying to book some trips, y'all. Well, I'm a big trip person. Listen, I'm trying to look at where can I go next.
I hear about at least 3 trips every week, guys.
Because I'm trying to figure out where am I going next. Where am I taking the kids? What we going to do? So we decided to do, this is post-COVID. Mm-hmm. So it had just opened, cruising had just started back like October of 2021. And we decided that in December after Christmas, because of course I have to celebrate Christmas with my kids and stuff. So we was like, and I didn't want to take them on a cruise yet. I wanted to see what cruising was like. So cruising was not open unless you was vaccinated. So that's
true.
Yeah, you had to be vaccinated to go. And I was like, well, it's going to Cozumel. We never
been to Mexico.
Never been. So we were just like, let's and Mr. Distinguished, it took some convincing, y'all.
Yeah, and I'm not one to get excited about trips until I'm there.
But let me tell you what God did.
Oh, my God.
For the ones who believe in God. Listen. So, okay, we had ordered these home tests. So it has to be a proctored test, right?
Correct.
And we ordered it online. So we was like, okay. And then you can't order it too early because it can expire. It's like a whole bunch of stuff.
Yes.
So we get down. We went to Miami, right? We get down there and we check into the hotel. We got down there. It was night because it was dark outside.
Yeah.
But it was still good timing. So we got there, me and Lo, we check into our room. Mr. Distinguished checking to his. I think you're like a floor above us or something like that. I think we was like second and I think you was third floor. So me and Lo, we went on ahead and did our test, right? And there was some issues with Lo. They couldn't read his card. We had to pull out passports, a lot of stuff. I called Mr. Distinguished. Y'all, he couldn't even do the test. It was like one of the tests, it wasn't working right. The other one, it didn't have a solution. Yeah. They was like, well, there's nothing we could do. So then panic mode because
this is the day before we had to get on the boat.
Yeah, because when we cruise, we always go a day before because we like to get settled, get food, just do some different stuff.
Eat at a nice restaurant down there in the area.
Yeah, we like to do something different.
Do a little vibing.
Yeah, so I'm just like, oh my God. Well, we hop in the car, right? And we go to, so mind you, this is Miami and the culture is mostly
Latino.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we get to Walgreens and we're looking for a proctored test. Nothing. It was nothing. That Walgreens, they might have just shut down because they really didn't have nothing. It was nothing in there. It was like shelves was empty. And I was just like, oh my God. So did we tried another store too?
I think so. We did.
Was it like a CVS or something?
Yeah.
It was like, and you was like dead.
Look, guys, it was a good thing I knew a little Spanish because.
Oh yeah, because it again, like he said, Latino. So. Yes. And mostly spoke Spanish. Yes. It was no English, none. So it was pretty hard. And so I'm here go me. I know I do a lot of research before I do anything. So I knew that we could contact Carnival that morning to, find out what we need to do. And so Mr. Distinguished, he got up the next morning. He was able to do that.
I was on hold for a while.
He was on hold for an hour.
Yes.
I never forget that. It was an hour. He finally found out he can test at the port. And he has a story with the the people, like, people was coming up there with their little test and they was like, we can't use that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he had a whole, like, me and Lo was able to just go on.
Yeah.
We walked up, okay, this is our test. This is the paper.
Because they were able to successfully complete their proctor test.
We were. Yes. And so Mr. Distinguished had to wait in the general crowd.
And these people were mad because they were bringing up, these home tests that didn't have a proctor on it. They were just doing it in their rooms. And they were bringing it up and like, oh, I got this test. And kind of like, hey, I can't do nothing with that.
They can't use it.
Can't use it.
So
sorry.
Right.
They were getting cussed out.
Yes. And you said the lady that was down there that was checking documents, she just thanked you. She was like,
she thanked me. I understood. It made sense to me,
yeah.
to use a proctor test because people will tell you anything.
Right. And they could have COVID.
Yeah.
So he finally was like, he was like, I'm finally coming up. And I think you came to the Lido deck and got some food.
Yes.
Finally. And then it was like the food, the ship was not at full capacity. Let me say that.
And that was like the best time for me, actually.
Ooh, it was wonderful, y'all.
Because sometimes you have to wait in lines, especially the food lines.
It was no lines.
When you first get on board. And
it was no lines.
It was no lines. It was kind of, I got the most sleep on that boat.
It was, we took naps every day. Y'all, when I say we really relaxed, we had fun too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Now we did the parties and everything.
We ain't just no old people.
No.
Sit in the room and play spades.
No. We was out, but we actually took advantage of resting, which is important. Like, I think when we do vacations, everybody think it's just go, go, go. Yeah. It's not all the time.
Sometimes you just have a chill.
Yes. So that's when we was introduced to Cozumel.
Yes.
Listen, Cozumel was a whole vibe. Still is.
You know what? I hear mixed reviews about Cozumel.
Really?
Yeah. I've seen online that some people didn't like Cozumel, but I guess it's all what you go down there for, right?
Now, that's true. Now, if you want some cheap alcohol, and this is stuff that they sell here in the U.S., Cozumel is the place.
Cozumel is the place. And
they let you sample.
They're so friendly. Like,
very.
Compared to the other ports that we ported at.
Listen.
Cozumel was actually my favorite.
It is my favorite. It's actually my mom's favorite. The kids love Cozumel.
And it was nice weather. It wasn't too hot.
It's not too hot.
Yeah.
I've been to Cozumel 3 times and gonna go 4. I love it.
Have you ever been like in the summertime?
No. Yes. We just the June.
Okay.
The June one.
And it was still.
It wasn't as bad.
It was still good.
It was still, yeah, we was able to still be cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen, your girl got a little tipsy, sampling, and Lo had to tell me, Alex, you don't need to drink no more. Because they just kept, hey, taste this, and I was. So we want y'all to know, try Cozumel.
Yeah, go to Cozumel, y'all.
Go to Cozumel. It's a vibe. We tell everybody it's a vibe.
I would actually consider just flying down there for a week.
We actually talked about that. And you know what? We talked about doing a podcast there.
Yes.
Stay tuned for that, y'all.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
So, guys, we want to transition into part 2 of our Casanova story. But before we get into it, of course, we're going to throw out the disclaimer that the story that we're about to tell you involves true events, but the names have been changed to protect the people that are involved.
Yes.
So, in the last episode of Everyday Living in the Valley, we introduced you all to Casanova.
Yes, we did.
So Casanova was, I guess in this sense, a personal trainer. And we worked out at his house. And he had these, I guess for me, unrealistic expectations.
He didn't like Mr. Distinguished.
He didn't like me. He told just Alice to send a naked photo or something.
And did.
And
me and Joanne.
Oh yeah, but he didn't want me to send a naked photo.
He didn't ask you for nothing. He didn't ask you for nothing.
He didn't ask me for nothing, but got mad at me because I wouldn't commit to like a 3 or 5 day.
A
5-day workout regimen with him.
Yes.
But every time I went, there was an issue with me being there.
Right.
And when everybody else was asking instructions on how to do certain exercises and stuff like that, he would, you do A, B, C, D, and E.
Right.
But when I would ask, it was like, well, what the hell are you asking me for?
And then he could not stand Mr. Distinguished. I don't know what it was.
I don't know.
I think he felt like you weren't supposed to be there.
I think so. And,
because he didn't even treat Lo like that.
He didn't. Lo was Gucci, like, and the other guys or whatever.
Yeah. It was fine.
Best friends.
It was fine.
But
you, trash.
Yeah, so he set up this obstacle course after we went on this sprint, guys. It wasn't even a jog. It was like a full-on sprint.
It was.
And I thought we were done with the workout after that sprint, to be honest, because it was unbearable. And it was hot.
It was ridiculous.
It was ridiculously hot out there.
It was horrible.
And so, we went another time. I think it was the day after. Really didn't want to go. And these workouts would last like 3 hours.
3 hours.
We would get there around
or more
6.
And you leave by 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
9:30.
So this is what your day looked like. You go to work.
Yeah.
You get off, and you go work out, and you go to bed.
That's it. You ain't have time. I couldn't even eat, y'all. I promise you. I had told Mr. I said I can't eat. I had no appetite out there. That was just horrible for me.
Yeah. And so there was this time where her mom, just Alex's mom, was supposed to go.
Yes.
But she wasn't able to make it. She doesn't really do cell phones, guys. So.
She don't. Still don't.
And still to this day. And so just Alex called me at the last minute, was like, can I take her mom's place? I didn't want to. I did not want to.
But he knew I had paid.
I know she paid for it. I'm like, okay, I'll do it, I guess. I don't want to, but I'll do it.
He did.
But Casanova was expecting just Alex's mom to come.
Yes.
Remind y'all, I've already went like 2-3 days.
3 days.
Yeah, 3 days already. But when I got to the house, it was like, what are you doing here? And you need to tell me if you're coming to my house.
It was ugly, y'all. He was mad.
He was upset.
Very.
And not even a little mad. He was big mad.
Yes, he was like ticked off.
He was ticked off.
And we knew that was the last time we were going to fool with him. Last time. So we are current with the story.
Yes. So this is part 2 of Casanova.
2, Casanova and Hannah. So I get an inbox, and I'm going to read you just a little snip of the inbox.
Read it. And
y'all tell me, what y'all think. Did we meet at a church function? This is just the inbox, right?
So a random person inbox you.
I said, no, ma'am. I've trained with your spouse. And I said, me and my husband trained with your spouse and my friend. And so she said, I know another Alexandria. I remember now. You all worked out at my house. I said, LOL, yes, ma'am. She put in quotation mark, my house, in caps, LOL, exclamation point.
Ooh. She meant that.
Mind you, after that, I'm on edge. I'm on the edge of my seat because I'm like, what's going on? I said, yes, we did. And then she commented, your word has been on point each morning. Keep it up.
So she followed your Facebook page.
She is a friend of mine on Facebook.
So she's familiar with your motivational
post that I make every morning. I make motivational posts. So she said, I said, thank you so much. That's very encouraging. And then she turned around and said, did you ever work with him? No, ma'am. I just seen a post, an ad, and I just wanted to try it. So that's the snippet that I'm going to read to you all. So just looking at that, and she also began to say, I guess he went to a party and I guess he went with some other people. I don't know. But I don't share men, and I don't date married men. I'm married already. I took offense at first.
Oh, you did.
I called Mr. Distinguished,
That's
and
right.
I called a couple of other people. We was all on the phone together, and we breaking down this whole inbox. And he's like, "Oh, well, yeah,
Yeah, she think you trying to get with it. Yeah.
She think you sleeping with her husband."
You.
And I'm like,
I ain't doing that.
I ain't doing. And of course, they already know I'm not doing that. So it was. I'm gonna tell y'all. So I'm 38 hot. I'm trying to figure out what am I going to say next. Like,
Because she's fully prepared to cuss the lady out.
I am, and I have a hot head, so I be ready to pop off. So Mr. Distinguished actually went back after we got off the phone that night. He actually went back and reread it, and actually did it without me on it, because again, I wasn't level-headed at that moment, and he needed to do that without me.
Yeah.
To really break down the inbox. So, he broke it down. He was like, "No, that's not it.
That's not what she's trying to do.
That's not what she's trying to do. She's just trying to find some answers."
Yeah, she's looking for information. She was looking for information.
And so I did respond to Hannah, and I was like, "Well, what's going on?" And Hannah began to tell me a lot of things that was going on between her and Casanova. Casanova is definitely Casanovian.
Oh.
That's not even a word, but that's what we're going to use today.
So, like, some of the people that we were working out with,
Absolutely.
you think they were...
Oh, yeah. He was tagging them. But he wasn't tagging me and anybody else who I brought. And so I did, let her know, like, I did see him with, one of the women. And yeah, it didn't. As a matter of fact, me and Mr. Distinguished had already said that's what was going on.
Yeah. Before this whole inbox thing
happened, y'all,
Yeah.
we already had broke it down and said, yep.
Tagging her.
He's tagging her.
Her. Maybe her, but
Maybe
definitely her.
But definitely her. We had already said that. But again, we mind our own business.
Yeah.
We don't get involved in nobody's stuff.
Nope.
And we keep it moving because we can break folks down. We can tell what's what now.
Yeah.
You can try to hide all day, but we can tell it.
Yep.
We can tell what's going on. So we knew. We already knew. So it went from that to her really just saying a lot of stuff on what Casanova was doing. And
So at this time, she's like you're like her confidant.
yes, it turned into me really explaining to her that he was gaslighting her and really saying that Casanova listen, he's for the streets, y'all.
Is he?
He most definitely is.
Why you say that?
Listen, he be, it's so much stuff. We got some more stuff. We gonna have to hold on to that.
So we're gonna break this down later.
We do. We gotta
next
break it down.
episode?
Yes,
All right,
we do.
well, we could do that. So, guys, tune in to our next episode of Everyday Living in the Valley, where we have part 3 of Casanova.
If you would like some relationship advice, or if you have a dream that you would like us to interpret, go to truevibes.net. That's true, TRU, the word vibes.net.
And we hope that you enjoyed the show today, guys. And join us next week for another exciting episode of Everyday Living in the Valley.
Living in the valley.
This has been a True Vibes Entertainment production. For more information on what's going on in the Valley and more, visit our website at truevibes.net. That's true as in TRU, the word vibes.net.